What would happen if Earth stopped spinning for 5 seconds? Imagine standing outside on a calm, sunny day. The wind is light, the sky is peaceful, and everything feels perfectly normal. But suddenly, without warning, the entire Earth freezes, its rotation stops completely for just 5 seconds. The ground doesn't shake at first. You don't even realize what has happened. Yet, in that short span of time, the world as we know it is torn apart by forces beyond comprehension. This is not a science fiction movie. It's a physics-based thought experiment that shows just how fragile life on our spinning planet really is. Even though we can't feel it, Earth is constantly rotating at an incredible speed. At the equator, the ground moves eastward at roughly 1,040 miles per hour. This rotation makes our days and nights, influences weather systems, and even slightly reshapes the planet, making it wider on the middle and flatter at the poles. Every atom, every grain of sand, and every drop of water is moving with the planet's spin. We don't notice it because everything around us moves together. But if the spinning stopped suddenly, that invisible motion would become violently visible. At the exact instant Earth stops rotating, inertia, the tendency of objects to keep moving, takes control. The planet's crust would stop, but everything not tightly anchored to it would continue flying eastward at the same speed Earth had been rotating. That means cars, buildings, trees, people, and even the air itself would keep racing forward at over 1,000 miles per hour. The result would be catastrophic. Entire cities would be ripped apart. Concrete structures would crumble like sandcastles. The atmosphere, still moving at full speed, would produce hurricane-force winds more powerful than anything humanity has ever witnessed. To an observer, it would feel like the entire planet had been hit by a sudden invisible tidal wave of air and debris. Those few near the poles, where rotation speed is much slower, might have a slightly better chance of surviving the initial chaos, but nowhere on Earth would truly be safe. The world's oceans would not stay quiet either. The momentum of the water would carry it eastward with terrifying power. Coastal regions would be the first to face unimaginable destruction as walls of water, hundreds of feet high, slammed into the land. Tsunamis would rise and travel far inland, destroying everything in their path. Ships would be tossed onto cities, and massive waves would reshape coastlines in seconds. For those 5 seconds, the oceans would act like a living monster, tearing the surface of the Earth apart. Even after the rotation resumed, the oceans would not immediately settle. Their currents and tides would be thrown into total disarray, creating continuous aftershocks of waves for hours or even days. The atmosphere is a layer of air that usually moves along with the spinning Earth, but when the ground stops suddenly, the air keeps going. This would create winds exceeding 1,000 miles per hour faster than a jet plane. These winds would tear up forests, flatten entire cities, and strip soil from the ground. Imagine every object around you turning into a deadly projectile. Cars, trees, and even pebbles would become weapons carried by the air. The sound alone would be deafening. The air pressure changes could burst eardrums and shatter windows across continents. The planet's crust is not a single solid shell, it's made of moving tectonic plates. A sudden stop would send enormous stress through these plates, releasing energy on a scale far greater than any recorded earthquake. Seismic waves would travel through the crust, triggering chains of earthquakes around the globe. Volcanoes could erupt as molten rock deep inside the Earth reacted to the sudden shift. The ground might literally split open in places, swallowing roads, buildings, and anything unfortunate enough to stand above them. Now let's imagine those 5 seconds in real time. In the first second, people are hurled forward without warning. Vehicles crash, trees snap, and skyscrapers begin to crumble. By the second and third seconds, shockwaves travel through the ground. Ocean waves rise, and the air begins to roar. By the fourth second, the noise becomes unbearable. The world seems to be shaking apart. Then, in the 5th second, the rotation resumes. But the damage is already done. The planet continues spinning as if nothing happened, yet the surface is unrecognizable. Those 5 seconds would leave behind destruction equal to centuries of natural disasters combined. When Earth begins spinning again, the air, oceans, and crust don't simply return to normal. They continue moving chaotically for hours. Winds would circle the globe, creating violent storms. The oceans, disturbed by the massive displacement of water, would continue producing waves and tsunamis. Millions or more likely, billions of lives would be lost instantly. The survivors would face a world with collapsed infrastructure, fires, and massive flooding. Communication systems would fail. Power grids would collapse. The planet would be covered in dust and debris, blocking sunlight and dropping global temperatures for days or even weeks. The magnetic field, which depends partly on Earth's rotation, could momentarily weaken, exposing the planet to dangerous solar radiation. Satellites might malfunction, and navigation systems would become unreliable. Deep underground, some forms of life might remain protected: microorganisms, insects, and small animals hiding in burrows or soil. In the deep ocean, far below the surface, certain marine creatures could survive the turbulence. But for most life on land, the sudden stop would be unsurvivable. Humans in underground shelters, thick mountain bunkers, or near the poles might make it through the initial chaos. Yet, they would emerge to a world beyond repair. The air would be filled with dust, the oceans polluted, and the global climate unpredictable. Scientists often use thought experiments like this to help us understand how delicate Earth's balance really is. The idea of Earth stopping suddenly is impossible in real life. There's no known force that could halt a planet of this size so abruptly. The reason lies in momentum. The Earth's mass is so enormous that stopping it would require an unimaginable amount of energy, something even greater than what the sun releases in a second. Still, by imagining this scenario, scientists can explain related effects that we actually experience on smaller scales. For example, airplanes flying east or west experience tiny differences in weight due to Earth's spin, known as the Earth effect. This real experiment, first observed in the 19th century, helps prove that our planet's rotation subtly affects gravity. Neil deGrasse Tyson, a well-known astrophysicist, once described the idea of a stopped Earth by saying that everything not nailed down would keep moving. His explanation reminds us how much our safety depends on something as simple as motion.
Welcome to the universe, where the wonders of space unfold before us.
Earth's rotation also helps power its magnetic field, generated by the movement of molten iron inside the outer core. If the rotation were disrupted, even briefly, it could disturb the geodynamo, the process that maintains this magnetic shield. While a 5-second stop might not destroy it entirely, it could cause short-term fluctuations. During that time, the planet would be slightly more vulnerable to solar wind streams of charged particles from the sun that can interfere with satellites and even power grids. It's worth imagining another version of this event. What if Earth's rotation slowed gradually instead of stopping instantly? If the planet slowed down over thousands or millions of years, the effects would be less violent, but still extreme. Days would become longer and nights colder. Winds and ocean currents would shift, creating new deserts and floods. Over time, one side of the planet might face constant daylight, while the other remained in endless night. Life could adapt slowly, but the world we know today would vanish. The gentle rhythm of sunrise and sunset that governs all life on Earth would disappear. 5 seconds might not sound like much, but when dealing with planetary physics, it's more than enough time for destruction on a scale beyond imagination. In those moments, Kinetic energy, the energy of motion, transfers from everything that was spinning to everything that suddenly stops. It's like a car crash multiplied by the entire mass of the planet. The brief pause in Earth's rotation would release energy equal to countless nuclear explosions, occurring simultaneously across the surface. This thought experiment shows how perfectly balanced our planet really is. We rarely think about the fact that the ground under our feet is constantly moving through space at high speed. Yet, this motion is what gives us day and night, stable weather, and a magnetic shield that protects life from cosmic radiation. The invisible spin of Earth is not just a background feature. It's the heartbeat of our planet. Take it away, even for 5 seconds, and that heartbeat stops, taking everything with it. In the end, imagining the Earth stopping for just 5 seconds teaches us a simple truth. Our world is fragile. Every breeze, every tide, every sunrise depends on motion. The next time you look at the sky and see the sun rising, remember that what you're really witnessing is the Earth turning toward the light and endless, graceful spin that has carried life for billions of years. As one physicist once said, "The motion of Earth is the quiet engine of life. Without it, even for a few seconds, everything would fall apart." If the Earth really stopped spinning for 5 seconds, what's the very first thing you think would happen where you live? Would you try to hide, or would you just watch it unfold? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another mind-bending curiosity about our planet.